Welcome to the Stories That Sparkle. I'm Hella Rader, and in today's episode, I sit down with Becca, mom, ultramarathoner, writer, and soon-to-be somatic practitioner, among a whole bunch of other things that she does. But it's who she is, not what she does, that really stands out as we discuss turning 40, the different kinds of endurance, and the message she would want to give to her younger self. It's an incredible conversation. We have the best kind of time. It's also the first recording I did at the very, very beginning, day 3 of the Disco Ball Tour, my 4-week driving tour across the country that I did in September 2025. I'm really grateful to Becca for being willing to kick things off with me and be the first woman I recorded with on this trip in Nashville. Yeah, woohoo! So yeah, stick around for the end. I have a lot of other info for you, but in the meantime, I invite you to get comfortable, sit back, and listen in. I'm Hella Rader. With a good sense of humor, an open heart, and an open mind, I love to explore the very human complexities in others and in myself. That's why I created a space for women you have never heard of and could easily pass on the street to share in their own voices the intricacies of starting over in life, building community, inhabiting their bodies, and more. Welcome to our Disco Ball, the stories that sparkle. Okay, so yes, okay, yay, it's working, yay. Woohoo! So y'all, I'm here in Nashville with Becca, who's awesome and amazing. Hi, Becca.
Hi, Hella.
We just did some grounding because we both are in a training in core energetics.
Yes.
So, wow, what a experience that is.
It really is. And we cross over in so many other different aspects of core energetics.
Yes.
With like different groups we do together. We do some peer groups together, or, different ways that we've collaborated. I feel like you and I get to cross paths.
I know.
A lot, which is really joyful for me.
It is really joyful. And what I was thinking, I was like, oh, I spent a lot of time with Becca, like in groups.
Yeah.
And never really one-on-one. So this has been a delight. To get I'm like, I got alone time with Becca.
I feel the same way. Part of it is like, whoa, is this really happening?
I know. I know.
Just plucked you in, and you look so nice on my little yellow chair.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel very at home here.
Yeah.
From the minute I walked, I'm like, take my shoes off.
Yes.
I'm just like, I'm here. I had a cup of coffee, not in my travel mug, in a real proper coffee mug.
I think it's really important to sit with a real mug of coffee.
I agree.
When you're in a sitting room.
Yes.
I mean, a travel mug has its purpose, but...
It does. That's for the car.
Yeah.
Not for the home.
Agreed.
So, and also, y'all, we are sitting in Becca's sunroom. Mm-hmm. We're 3 amazing windows here looking out. I just saw 2 deer and a butterfly.
Yeah.
She has native pollinator plants all along the wall here. Yeah. I mean, it's gorgeous.
It's beautiful. Tennessee is a state I never thought I'd live in. It's a bit of a jungle here, particularly in the summertime. If I left for 3 weeks, this would be so overgrown that you wouldn't even know how to get through it.
Really?
A jungle, an absolute jungle.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really humid here. It's really hot here, but we live right on the park, and so lots of wildlife and pollinators and birds, and yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really a very grounding place.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put both my feet on the floor because that's how I remember. I remain in contact. With the ground.
That's a good idea.
Okay, now I have questions.
Yeah.
You're not from Nashville.
No, I'm from Rhode Island.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I lived in Rhode Island most of my life until after college. Worked in Rhode Island for a couple of years, and then decided I wanted to go see more of the country, and spent a good 9 months traveling around the country with my then partner, who is now my husband, and we kind of poked around and stopped in different places. We lived in our tent. We lived in our car with just our camping gear.
Whoa!
Yeah, we ended up all over. We spent some months in Kentucky, and we spent some time in California, and we spent Gosh, we spent a couple months in Las Vegas.
Oh, boy.
A longer story than maybe we have today.
I don't know how you did that because that place makes my head hurt.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. And the heat is like nothing I've ever experienced there. But then we moved on to Missouri, and then we were in Pensacola, and now we're in Nashville. This has been the longest we have lived anywhere for, yeah, probably ever since Rhode Island.
Wow.
So we've been here for about 10 years now.
Dang, that's how long I've been where I live.
Really?
Like almost 11 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also been one of the longer stints.
Yeah. There's something about, and I don't know if it was the season of life we were in, like we had a child and we came and put down some roots here and started meeting people and started finding our, our chosen family. And it really started to feel like home pretty quickly.
Right.
And when we moved to this neighborhood in particular, because we live right on a nature preserve, a park, so we spend a lot of time. I run a lot of these trails most days of the week, and kids bike ride through the greenway, and yeah, it's just really beautiful here.
Aww.
And our neighbors have become, like our family. So
I love this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this whole thing of communities, like, it's like a recurring theme. And once you find it and you built it, sticking with it or staying in it. Mm-hmm. So you had a big birthday recently.
I did. I turned 40.
I mean, girl.
Yeah.
What's that been like?
Aging is it's an interesting thing. I continue to be really excited as my life continues to grow and progress. And I mean, the number is just a number, honestly. But I did feel a sense of like coming into a new season of my life. And so it was neat that it coincided with this pretty little even round number. I threw myself a really big party.
I love that.
And I don't do things like that very typically. I think the last huge party we threw was our wedding, which was now nearly 15 years ago. So it was really neat to like get a DJ and
oh my God, I love that.
I got a DJ, I got a bunch of snacks and drinks and,
Did you have it here at the house?
No, I rented, so there's a park nearby and it's an old airport. And so the runway is where I've trained a lot of my miles for races that I've run. And on that property are the old airplane hangars, and you can rent them out for party spaces. So I rented this giant airplane hangar.
Wow.
Like through the parks department. We had a alcohol-free event of just like, I really wanted a night of embodied dancing with like all my friends and all the people that I love. So I pretty much invited everybody that I could ever imagine I would want to spend time with.
Oh my gosh.
I got a DJ and they played amazing music. We had a snow cone truck.
Whoa.
And
oh my God.
Hot and we were sweaty and there's no air conditioning in there, and we opened up all the doors to the airplane hangar, and so from inside the airplane hangar all you could see was just like the beauty of like the park. It was like herds of deer and like birds flying by and all the grass, the grassy wetlands that are out there. At one point there was the moon rising. It was just a magical thing.
I mean, this sounds like incredible.
It was really, really special. And I think I recognized that if I was going to have a 40th birthday, I needed to do it for myself. I had a lot of help, of course. Like I asked for support and I was like, here's how you can support me. And I had my sister came in to support me. My dad came to support me. My mom supported me a ton. My husband's always incredibly supportive in all the different ways. And yet I knew that I needed this to be about what I wanted to do to celebrate this next chapter of my life. And I set some intentions with everybody, which was a little scary to like stand up in front of all your friends and say, can we breathe together? Can we drop into our bodies? Can we accept that this can be about finding joy in movement? And
whoa,
it was pretty powerful. Like I really felt everybody's presence there with me as we danced through the night.
Oh my God. Yeah. I love that you did that for yourself.
Yeah, I think it was important to do something like that for myself. I don't tend to do that as much. I tend to think about my family and the people around me.
Well, yeah, because you
Yeah.
have, I mean, you're married. You have also two kids.
I have 2 boys. I have
Right.
2 kiddos. Oliver is my 10-year-old, and Desmond is my 6-year-old.
Aw.
So yeah, life is full. Life is busy.
Yeah. So doing
yeah.
anything for yourself, I would imagine, is a challenge.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
the nature of all of those dynamics and just people's.
Yeah, and I have predominantly been the one staying home to care for them, like since, for the last decade. I think in a lot of ways, the celebration of my 40th year was also this like celebration of like, oh wow, I have accomplished a decade of parenthood. I accomplished a decade of stay-at-home parenthood. For lack of a better term, that's what I've been doing. I've had odds and ends jobs and things that I've picked up, and my God, is it not just one full-time job? It's like 12 full-time jobs. But I think I can see what the next chapter is. I think I can see that, my life has so much purpose in it, and my kids are part of my purpose, but they're not my only purpose, nor were they ever my only purpose. And life is more purposeful and better with them in it, but there's so much out there for me, and I can feel that. And it's a little scary to put this chapter down and say like, oh, now you have to do the thing that in some ways is a little harder, because like I could fail. I could go out there, put myself out there, and it could not work. Whereas like, you can kind of fail at parenthood. You pretty much fail at parenthood every single fucking day.
I was going to say, that seems to be baked into parenting, is you're going to fuck it up.
Yeah, like every day, like multiple times a day, like 100 times a day. It feels like constant failure, but yet constantly picking yourself back up and constantly asking yourself like, okay, I'm a human. Can I accept that I made a mistake, apologize, and move on? And
right.
That's kind of what we do. It's like, I love you. I messed up. I love you. I yelled. I'm sorry. Like, I love you. And here, let's keep going. Let's try to do better. Let's keep working on this.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's a gift to have that.
Yeah.
In the repertoire.
Yeah. It is. And children have this way of reflecting back at you exactly the shit you need to work on. And like that, right, to me has been really challenging, but has been like a huge gift. It's like, they're some of the most meaningful relationships of your life and some of the most challenging relationships of your life. And I don't think that's going to change as they get older. I think in some ways that gets more difficult. The needs get more complicated. Their emotional needs are more, they're more nuanced because they're getting older. And I don't know, sometimes I sit around and just think like, oh, all I want is to just like get to a place where like they want to like come visit me once in a while and be my friend and talk to me and tell me things later, like when they're old enough to like go off and be on their own. But like, I hope for them to go off and be on their own. I want them to have autonomy. I want them to know themselves. I want them to be authentic. And if that means they don't live near me, if that means they don't call that much, like I want them to do what's good for them.
Right.
And so
right,
kind of in that way, sinking into a season of like, I'm going to soak this in a little bit because I can see the light. I could not see the light for a long time. I felt very trapped.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah.
I think that some of that, in my experience, I never had kids.
Yeah.
And I think some of that starts to happen more the older like my 40s were, I thought, well, I don't know. There was a lot going on. My 40th birthday, I was in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I also threw myself a party, much smaller version, but a big dinner party. And I thought maybe life would be on an upswing of some sort. And then it went way the other way on a major downward spiral. So, and that's not, no, don't worry. I'm just, I'm like, wait, don't scare her.
I'm not worried. It's all good.
And yet, like, that still ushered in a season of major change, because all the major change, really, the initial shifts started in my 40s.
Yeah.
And 50 felt like a celebration of not quite through the woods or out of the woods yet, but on my way into a whole new thing, finally. Woohoo.
That's beautiful. And it's such a great reminder. I think one of the things I love about our core program is like the friendships that you build with people from like all different points in their life. I mean, like I have dear close friends who are as young as 21 or like into their 60s or maybe even 70s. But like this feeling of like, wow, we are all in these different stages and seasons of life, and there's still so much to glean and learn from each other no matter where we are. And so I appreciate that wisdom. Like you have that wisdom. You have that decade of wisdom.
Yeah. Yes.
A lot happens in 10 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot did happen in 10 years. And I'm like, so that's why I'm like, I used to be afraid of my 40s and 50s. I was like, that's old. I'm like, I'm rethinking all of those things because actually I'm like, it's just a number on the one hand. And actually I feel like life keeps getting better.
Better.
Because I have more information about myself, about others, about how I want to navigate those situations differently, how I can make more amends or say, I got that wrong. How, let's clean it up and move on. I love you. I love that.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't want to do that, but I did it. I own that.
Yeah.
And I love you. And now we can move forward.
Absolutely.
I just think that's beautiful. So,
Yeah, and I'm really experiencing that in this, this moment of, just feeling like, I get to just accept who I am, and I don't have to apologize so much for the things that make me me. It feels really nice, and I don't feel limitations. I feel some open-ended possibilities.
Ooh.
Which just feels really exciting. I've stepped into some things over the last year that I just never thought I would do.
Right.
Never thought I would get started with, and yet here I am, and I'm like, oh, and maybe I could even take that a step further.
Well, because I wanted to circle back to the there are all these exciting things I want to do, and I could fail at them.
I could fail.
So do I really want to do that and fail?
I could fail, yeah. And I think I keep setting up opportunities to try things that are really difficult, knowing that I could fail and still stepping into it. And that feels really exciting. I ran my first ultra marathon.
That's right. You're a runner.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's again, there's we have so many facets to ourselves. And I've been trying to learn not to make them all my identity. It's I'm a runner.
Right.
It's not all that I am.
Yeah,
it's one of the things that I do. And
right.
I learn a lot. It's like medicine. I mean, an ultra marathon is like a medicine journey.
Okay, can you explain to me what an ultra marathon is?
Yeah, so it's anything that's more than a marathon, and a marathon is 26.2 miles. So I jumped right in and I said, well, let's try to run 50 miles. And so about a year and a half ago, I trained and ran my first 50-mile race with some success because I finished it, I accomplished it. And then I sat back and I felt a little like, where am I going now? What am I doing? I've been training for this thing and now it's over. And there was a lot of letdown that came after that. And somewhere over the next few months, I refound some purpose in training with other people and supporting them on their journeys. So I had some friends that were running some of their first big races, and I was like, I'll just jump in on your training and be your champion. And it was so fun to train with them, but I couldn't stop running. It just felt like medicine. And somewhere along the way, a 100-mile race popped onto my radar. And I was like, I think we're doing this one now. And so just this past April, I ran my first 100-mile race.
Okay, how long does that take?
It took me 25 hours and 48 minutes.
Do you run the 24, 5, whatever, something, 25 hours, 48 minutes, you said? Do you run that straight? Is there a break?
I didn't take much break, so I started.
So there's no sleeping?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't sleep. I started at 7 in the morning in Eastern Alabama. I ran to Georgia. ran into Georgia.
What?
Across the time zone, you know, it was crazy. So we out 50 and back 50. And so, yeah, and I mean, and by running, I mean, like, you know, there's strategy to racing like this. And, you know, for me, knowing that I was going to want to finish it, it meant like intervaling, you know, and finding a process that would work. So I typically would do, I'm going to run for 7 minutes and I'm going to walk for 3 minutes. And I'm going to run for 7 minutes and I'm going to walk for 3 minutes. And I'm just going to let that carry me as far as I can go.
Oh.
There's aid stations. And so I might stop. Like I tried to make my aid stops real quick. I'd like stop for 2 to 3 minutes. I'd get in, you know, I had this crew of incredible people who were just supporting me and making sure I had enough fuel and I had enough water.
Are they like riding along beside you or something?
They have to drive to each of the stops.
Oh, all
park.
the aid stations? Wow.
Yeah, and they
So
would,
who was in the aid station crew?
it was like, so my dear friend Ashley was my crew chief, and she was like organizing everything. And I have a good friend named David who supported me, and he's like done a bunch of these before, so he had lots of experience. And my husband Adam came and was like big time my emotional support system, because it brings up a lot when you're on that kind of a journey. And at some point beyond, I ran the first 50 miles by myself, and then beyond the 50, I was allowed to have pacers. And so the 3 of them took turns being on the trail with me.
Oh, like running next to you or with you?
Yeah.
Whoa, mind
Keeping
blown.
me company, talking to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you doing any talking, or were you just focused and they were talking to you?
Did a lot of talking for a little while, but somewhere after like 3 a.m., it was a lot of just head down.
Right.
And as long as I was making forward movement, I knew that I was on my way to reaching my goal. So I finished it on my first attempt, and it felt like a big win. And I don't know if I'll do another one. I'd like to think I might, but I've sort of shifted gears to supporting other people in their races. So I've been working with a bunch of friends and just helping them get ready for things that they're working on. And that's been like so much fun, because so many people helped me. It just feels like a pay it forward and comes full circle.
Wow. Well, I was really delighted because I was able to connect you with Natalie, who I've had on the podcast. Yes. What a great little situation. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. Look at, we're just expanding and connecting. It's like such a beautiful thing. And I'm like, what's even more incredible to me about that is like, I want nothing to do with running. I am a walker. Yes. I mean, I'll walk all day long.
I love it.
Maybe not all day long, but I'll walk, I'll walk.
Yeah.
I'll walk and talk.
Yeah.
I will not run.
Right.
I'm just like, that is not, like in my neighborhood one day I was walking and this whole like group of people were running past me. I'm like, yo, calm down.
Calm down.
You people need to slow down.
It is a bit of a culture, and we do get a little excited.
I love it. I'm like, this is wonderful when it's your thing. I'm like, oh, so I'm just always so excited. I'm like, I love that I was able to connect to runners.
Oh, it was so nice. I was listening to that particular episode while I was on like an easy 5 miles, just out on a run. And I was just like, oh, I want to listen to something inspiring. And Natalie was very inspiring.
Aww,
so I look forward to connecting with her more.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
But I just love this whole, like, you get to have a pacing buddy person alongside.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So like, in other words, there's like, I love this, like, so there's like this portion you quote have to do alone.
Yep.
With little pit stops.
Yep.
And then there's the second half where you don't.
Right. Yeah, and
what was that like?
It was kind of wild to like spend so much time in my own thoughts on the way. Sometimes listen to music or a really specific podcast or something I'll get set up for myself, but actually made a couple phone calls on the way.
I love it.
Because the whole point of ultra running, at least from the standpoint of most people, I mean, there are those like very high level competitive athletes who are just gonna like try to set course records, in which case you are like on a mission. But for me, it's like, how can I keep running and keep my heart rate as low as it can so that I can just go forever? And and when I think of it that way, I'm just like, wow, what is my body capable of? It just can keep going and going and going and going. And it's been really cool to watch my mental ability to like endure something and I'm no stranger to enduring. I'm very willing to endure a lot of discomfort and a lot of pain. And so there is some of that. And I think that's why maybe it comes a little more naturally to me. But it's also wild to see what you can endure before you even hit the point of discomfort. It's like, oh, I'm capable of so much more than I thought I was.
Wow, that sounds very empowering.
Yeah, it was very, very empowering, very impactful. I'm still processing things that came out of that run.
Right.
And ways in which I felt changed by being able to do something like that. And yet stepping out of it, and even doing the second one, the 100 versus the 50, I think I went into the 100 with more intention of being my most authentic self while I was there. It wasn't about a certain time. It wasn't about what's everybody doing around me. It was like, this is my journey. I'm going on my journey. And so when it was over, I just felt a lot of gratitude. I didn't have that crash. I didn't have that sadness. I didn't have that, like, you get that runner's high and then a little bit of that depression afterwards. I didn't have that. I was like, oh no, I went out there to be with myself. And like, yes, I ran 100 miles, but there was so much more happening. There was growth. There was, you know, a personal journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thanks.
That's incredible.
It was really powerful.
So, yeah, I'm like, what?
It is. It's hard to wrap your head around that many miles. It was hard for me to wrap my head around because you only really train up to about 40 miles, and then beyond that, you're just like, here we go.
We're gonna wait. Well, it's interesting because like now, as I'm listening to you, I'm like, I'm connecting to it in terms of I'm going to be driving. I've never actually tabulated how many miles I'll be driving.
Right.
So I think on purpose, I'm like, I don't want to know. I'm just going to go and drive for however many they end up being. But I'm like, oh yes, I relate to this. Like on my drive down from Virginia, like sometimes I would listen to music, you know, sometimes, and I broke it up into 2 days instead of hammering it out in 9 hours. I'm like, who am I trying to impress, or where am I going? There's no rush.
Right.
Chill out.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I was listening to music, then I was listening to episodes of my podcast that I'm editing, like rough cuts to like just hear it, you know, run it through. Then I was talking on the phone. So I'm like, wait, actually, there's a lot of parallels to how you did this very long journey and all these things that were coming up in me. Like we were talking earlier, I'm recognizing, like when you said keep my heart rate low, I'm like, right, I think this trip is going to be about Hella learns to like ground and slow it down. Yeah. And I think what you said also before to me, it's okay when it peaks and when it spikes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to stay there.
Right. It's like our body giving us information, and regardless of the activity that you're doing, like being more familiar with like, okay, this is what grounded feels like. This is what finding a steady rhythm feels like that I might be able to take on for a long time. And then here's information when I'm getting nervous. Like we put the headphones on and the mics on and I could hear my voice in these headphones and I'm like, oh, okay, this is suddenly a little different and scary. There's information there.
Yes.
Yeah, and not judging it. I've been learning so much not to judge, because the other thing that happens when you're running that many miles is like you will feel physical pain. I mean, there's just no way out of that. Like, you know, things fatigue, like our bodies fatigue and they get tired and things hurt. And so I know things are going to hurt, but it's having a conversation with yourself about like, is this the kind of pain that is leading me towards something dangerous? Is this injury? Is this something I need to tend to immediately? Or can I name this a very specific sensation and like have a conversation with it and let it inform me what it is that I need right now?
Wow.
And so it's taught me a lot about that too.
So, and it sounds to me like those are things you then can carry over into the rest of your life.
Yeah, very much so. And one of the things that came to me over and over and over again as I was a couple things, but one of them being whatever I'm experiencing right in this moment, it's about to change again. And it's like, okay, now I'm in this moment, whatever I'm experiencing right now, it's going to change again. And I mean, that is something that carries me through life. Like, I'm in the middle of, my kid is freaking out and I'm not having a good day. And so I feel myself going to that place of like, I'm going to freak out with you. And I know that's not helpful, and reminding myself, okay, like, he's having an emotional feeling, I'm having an emotional feeling, and it's just going to change soon.
Right.
And so it can really help me find a place of like calming myself down, not being so impulsive and reactive. I don't think I ever knew how impulsive and reactive I was until I had children.
Right. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, it's wild.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it taught me a lot about that. And I think the other takeaway for me that was huge was like, I don't have to do this. Like, I get to do this. And just the gratitude for like the strength in my body. And yeah.
It's funny you say that, because that's been another woman I've had on the podcast in Atlanta, Catherine.
Yeah.
She's always a big like get to, not have to, or got to.
Yeah.
I caught myself, it was either this morning or last night, bitching. I gotta make a this and I gotta post a that. And, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Lady.
Yeah.
You get to do all those things. And also, FYI, you don't have to do any of those things.
No.
That's entirely up to you. So either do it for fun and for free, and enjoy it and be grateful and just get to do it.
Yeah.
Or don't. Like,
and it's okay.
And either way, it's okay.
It's okay.
But don't beat up on yourself or push yourself this hard.
Yeah.
That's like one of those, like, that's a pain that's actually indicator of injury. Like, I'm injuring myself in those moments.
Right.
It's like, yeah, that's a pain I don't need to endure.
Right, because it's like, there's no need, I don't know, that makes me think of like guilt, like, because it's like, oh, well, if I don't do this, I feel guilty, right? Like, I should be posting this because this is how I promote things, or I wanted to stay up late and make a sourdough bread, Hella, and I thought to myself, this would be really hard on me if I stayed up too late making a sourdough bread. And it's okay. It's okay. But it reminds me that, like, when we have guilt, it's like a way of abandoning yourself and saying, like, well, I will abandon my need to, like, not feel guilty.
Right.
And that isn't really helping anybody.
No, it's
honestly.
not. It's not.
No.
Yeah, I mean, because now I'm no good. I'm like all self. I'm really actually more in self than not in self.
Yeah.
I'm doing nobody any favors, and probably I'm going to be kind of cranky.
Yeah.
That's putting it mildly, and or not present. My thing is I'll just like escape into somewhere else, into the ethers, and I'll be in front of you and not actually there. Right. And that's not. I don't want to. I've done that enough. I don't want to live like that. So
either. It's like, show up as you are, know, and like that. I actually kept telling myself that. I was like, okay, we're gonna do a podcast. I'm a little nervous. Like, what is this gonna look like? Hella's never been to my house. Like, all these feelings and things were coming up, and I thought, it's like, just be where you were at today. I mean, it's the best we can do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, that's the sort of daily practice, it feels like, or it's throughout the day, constant opportunities to be like, I'm not gonna, no, that's gonna injure me. I love this. Like, is this a pain that's an indication of I'm injuring myself, that I need to tend to an injury, or is this just discomfort because I'm afraid or uncomfortable with, or whatever, and I can lean into it and go through it and come out different on the other side, and distinguishing between those two things.
Yeah, and it's wild how often you realize you can get to a place of comfort, because I know this is going to sound insane, but like becoming, I don't know, invested in ultra running has become a comfort, so that when it's time to like do a shorter run faster, I'm terrified of not being able to hit a pace or hit a speed. And so I think as soon as I got a little complacent in like, well, you know, like I could just do like a little 3-mile shakeout run during the week, and then I'll go do my long run on the weekend, and then I'm like keeping up with stuff. And I realized I was kind of falling into this like complacency of like, well, that's my comfort zone now. And yeah, it like hurts, but it's the kind of hurt that I'm familiar with. It doesn't provoke fear anymore. And not that I want to live in fear, but it's like those little butterflies. It's like, oh, when I'm feeling those little butterflies, I know something's alive in me. And so I recently started working with a coach, and I've worked with a really dear friend as a coach who's coached me and like really helped me through my initial bouts of fear around ultras. And now I'm like, well, maybe it's time to step into some new fears and new butterflies. And so I've been doing a lot of track work, speed work.
Whoa.
And that's been pretty scary. Like it'll be a 6-mile run, and I've run 100 miles before, but this 6-mile run is enough to make me like not want to go out and do it, because I'm supposed to push my heart rate. I'm supposed to get myself to a place where I am like on the verge of like, wait, can I keep going? And that is so scary.
Wow. So it's like this like yin yang or back and forth between I could go on forever.
Yeah.
And can I keep going?
Yeah. And in some ways, endurance is like my safe space. It's like, oh, I'll endure. But these like bursts of like, I don't know. I'm still navigating what it all means. And I still, on a weekly basis, like she'll give me my training schedule for the week, and I can feel my heart fluttering right now. Like, oh, I gotta go out and do this week, and I'm so scared. And yet I'm so empowered when I'm finished. And I know when there's a day that I need rest, it's like, it's not about pushing myself past my boundary. It's just like, ooh, I'm really challenging myself right now. And I'm learning a lot along the way. So.
Wow. I mean, I just admire the whole thing.
Thank you.
Like the willingness to try a different way, to experiment, to go out of your comfort zone and find a different comfort zone, play with that. Listening though to like, yeah, not today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really amazing.
Thanks.
Wow. Okay, I'm taking some notes. Taking notes about, enduring. Sometimes enduring is not the thing.
Sometimes it's not the thing. And I've had to ask myself, like why are you enduring this?
Yeah, because it makes me think, where are places where I'm enduring?
Yeah, and I have a tendency to endure, maybe in areas that aren't healthy. So I think it's also a helpful tool to intentionally endure.
Right.
And maybe it can highlight some areas where you might be unintentionally enduring.
Yeah, because it sounds like you can feel the difference now.
I can.
In your whole body.
I can. And sometimes it smacks you and you realize, ooh, wow, I had no idea I was holding in that way while I was maybe in relationship with this person, or while I was, continuing to carry out this routine that is just not serving me.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So I think it's about being willing to look at yourself every day.
Yeah.
And reassess. Be like, every day can be a reassessment.
Right. Yeah, this is where I'm like, oh, the plan's going to change. Like the plan is going to change.
Yeah.
So I can make a plan.
Yeah.
I need to have some idea, and then also just know it's going to change.
Yeah.
And that's already happened like several times in the last 72 hours.
Exactly.
Since I drove off from Virginia.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like really, what else could go like different?
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to roll with that. I mean, I'm not going to fight it, especially if I'm safe and it's not injury, And then at the same time, I was in a situation on Saturday night where I checked into a place that I felt unsafe. And so, but it was cheap, and I was like, I should stay because I paid, and da, 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 da. I'm like, no, I don't feel safe, and I'm not going to endure this just to prove what and to whom.
Wow.
So I'm going to leave and pay another night hotel in a different place where I do feel safe.
Wow.
So yes, that like this, like I'm like, oh, I don't need to stick this out.
Right. That discernment is like a muscle that needs.
Yeah, I'm like
conditioning.
I'm like, this is optional. This situation. So what else are you looking at that you're like, I don't want to fail at that. So I'm not sure I want to even start doing that.
I'm enjoying the different aspects of what's going on right now.
Yeah, because I'm also hearing the like I'm work like giving back to other runners, working with them.
Yeah.
As another area for you.
Yes, and so I've got. Oh my gosh, I think I have 6 friends that I'm training right now. It's like really fun, and it's almost a little scary to even say that out loud because like I have a little bit of that imposter syndrome of like, am I qualified to do this? Like, you know, it's a real like dialogue between me and them of like, give me the feedback you need. Is this working? Is this what's not working? Like, let me know how I can best support you because like, I'm not here from a position of like, I'm an expert, let me tell you what to do. It's like, how can we work together? And so I think, I've got that going on and, I'm in the core energetics program to become a practitioner. I think I envision a practice that incorporates somatics and running. And so working with clients to like move their bodies and to find access points to their healing through movement and running. I'm writing. I'm writing a lot.
That's right. Tell me more about this because you do a very specific kind of writing, at least.
Right now I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Take note, everybody. So you have a Substack.
I have a Substack. And the Substack, I think, came to me just this last year. I've been writing my whole life. I've had journals that date back to like, being 14 and their journals, their personal journals. I had a blogging moment in 2010 when blogs were a big thing, or maybe even a little before that. But I think where writing took off for me is where I started realizing it was a place where I could be vulnerable and feel safe being vulnerable. It was really hard for me to be vulnerable in person. That's less of an issue now. I feel like I've worked on that quite a bit, and practicing being more vulnerable in my life. But I would write in order to be seen in those vulnerabilities because I didn't want them hidden. I didn't want them just tucked away in journals. And so that's what got me blogging originally. And then I took my writing kind of out of my own personal journals in, I guess it was 2019. It was like, or maybe it was 2020. It was during the pandemic. And I wrote for a friend's website. She was looking for like blog material for her website, and she was like in a doula position. And she was asking for people to just write about their experiences with like birth and with, newborns. And birth and newborns was like really challenging for me. Toddlers are really challenging. Like I'm not a baby person. Like I'm not even like a kid person. Like
I love this.
I love my humans because they're like incredible humans.
Right.
But it's like, man, raising them as like babies, toddlers, like that was not innate for me. That didn't feel natural. That felt really difficult. And so I was writing about breastfeeding and how of the many things that did not come naturally, that did not. And we had some like really difficult things go on. And I wrote an essay about it for my friend's blog, and it got picked up on a pretty big site called Scary Mommy, which is like a big blog for parents. And I was just kind of stunned. Like I was kind of stunned that it had been published somewhere, like on a site that I used to just read so that I could learn how to be a parent or like be involved in the parenting world. And now like my essay was on their website, and it just gave me some confidence. So I kept writing essays. I published a couple more things in some like just very small online literary magazines, but it just felt really alive in me to write creative nonfiction.
Oh, I like that.
And so that's what it is. It's mostly creative nonfiction, and it tells stories about life and anecdotes and memories. And so when I started this Substack, I was looking to do something a little extra challenging for myself and a little extra creative. So I had published a 100-word, like a little 100-word micro essay on another parenting website. And I was like, ooh, that was fun. Like, how can I take 100 words and tell you a really compelling story? And I just loved the like sculpting process of it. It was like I would write out my story and I would have to carve away all the sentences and like rearrange the words and make it really concise and really poetic and really, or whatever was feeling alive for me in that moment, until I had this like piece that spoke to me in some way in 100 words. And I don't know if you can like picture what 100 words look like. It's not a lot.
No, it's not.
It's like 5 sentences,
It's
6
like,
sentences maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very small.
It hurts my brain. When I saw you do that, I'm like, and you do 10 of them,
yeah,
right?
So the
in a
Substack
group.
is called 10 by 100s. And so I pick a theme and then I write 10 little 100-word essays on that theme. So I've ranged through all the different themes. I did a parenthood one. The first one I published was because I was like celebrating a decade of motherhood. My son had turned 10 and I was like, let's tell some stories. And so,
wow.
Yeah.
But the 100-word thing, I'm like, oof.
It's hard, but it is so fun for me. It's so challenging and it's exciting and it's like, yeah,
I'm seeing
really
some
love
parallels between your ultra marathoning and then like it's almost like in reverse, like ultra marathoning first, then shorter distance faster.
Yeah.
Now, but in the writing, it's shorter pieces, not faster necessarily. I get that because I know like that would take me a long time.
Yeah.
But shorter pieces. Do you want to do you have a sense that you want to go into longer pieces?
I do. I feel like it's a dream to write a novel. And
Ooh, would you want to do a fiction novel?
Yeah, I think I'd write fiction. And I mean, I've started novels before. I wonder if there's still material there that I would actually use, for what's coming. And part of me wonders if like it's not just the fear of failure, but like I'm still just waiting for the information to continue to download. And so what I've written so far might just be exactly what was available at that time. And then we'll see what comes next, because it tends to come in seasons for me. I'll have months where I am like writing and writing and writing and writing and physically cannot stop myself from putting words on the page. And then I have seasons where it just goes like, oh, we're resting now.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because that was my experience writing my book. I would be like in a fevered pitch and I'm like, okay, I just have to let it out because it's like coming from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's just coming out and through me.
Yeah.
And so, don't stop it. Don't turn it off.
Right.
Let it flow, do the thing.
Yeah.
Because in a week or two or whatever, you're not going to have any of that.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like recrafting the things that just float out.
Right.
Basically.
Yes.
Or taking a break or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, and accepting that that's part of the process for you. It's like we all have our process.
Yeah.
And like knowing yourself as an artist, as a writer, as a creator.
Yeah, I think that was one of the hardest things for a while was learning how it works for me, what my process looks like, and getting okay with accepting that, being comfortable with it, and like not judging it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everybody has a way that they do this. Like it doesn't have to look any kind of way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, I've never done this before. I don't know what I'm doing.
No.
And I had a coach and everything, but still, I'm like, I've never written anything. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I just always wrote like little rando scribbly things.
Right.
You know?
And it's so brave to like say, okay, now I'm going to go for it. And you went for it. I mean, it's so brave. And I think someone said to me once, like, you're a writer if you write. And that just brought me a lot of peace, because I always felt like a writer in my heart. Like, if I'm going to express myself, that is my most authentic way of expressing myself. It's where my voice feels most alive to me. It's where it feels most courageous. It's where it feels, like not afraid to hold back. Sometimes the things I put on page, I'm just like, oh shit, can I publish this?
Right?
My
can
God.
I say that out
loud?
loud?
Am I gonna, because it's like,
Yeah.
we all go through feelings and thoughts that I'm like, yeah, this might really offend somebody. And I don't know if I care so much. I care about my impact. I really do. I care deeply about my impact. I would never want to hurt somebody intentionally. And I'm also kind of tired of holding back my truth just in case it might hurt somebody. And so I'm working a lot on that right now. Like, asking myself, are you writing this to almost say what you want to say, or are you saying what you want to say? And can you just be brave and say it?
I understand. Yes, I understand. Like, yes. Mm-hmm. No, I think I'm like, am I self-editing because I'm afraid of who knows who may or may not think about this?
Right.
Or am I editing this down because that's what's true for me?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, sometimes I need to write it out, but not publish it.
Yes.
Yet or ever. And that's also been a learning curve.
Yes.
Because I'm like,
finding that balance of I reserve the right, but I also reserve the right to say it or not say it, and is it actually healthy for me to say it? Or am I looking for attention? Am I looking for reactions? Am I looking to fight with somebody?
Yeah. Am I throwing down? What's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's been a real, because writing was always easy for me. I could say the hardest things in a letter.
Yeah.
Like I had at one point a chapter in my book, I changed it around, but anyway, it was called Write Me a Letter. Because it was like, that's how my family, we would communicate with each other by writing each other letters.
Okay.
And say some really difficult, long conversations had in a letter.
In a letter.
And I'm like, okay, I guess that's how you, quote, talk about things. So I have always felt very comfortable writing you a letter.
Right.
I could tell you all the things and how I feel, but you want me to say it? I can't. Like, I would stutter or stammer. And so even when I started this podcast, I couldn't finish my sentences.
Yeah.
I was stammering, and it's gotten easier and better. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna keep doing it and trust that I'll get better at it and it'll get easier.
Yeah.
So it's been a real gift to do this, to practice using my spoken voice.
Right. Wow. What a journey.
It's really been bonkers.
Yeah.
So I can really relate to I don't want to hold back, but I also, where's my limit for me?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll see where it goes. I think I am not afraid to publish the 10 by 100s, but then kind of like my ultra marathon at some point, where am I getting comfortable? And then where do I want to kind of push my limits a little bit and get uncomfortable again so I can keep growing in my creativity? And but for now it's still fun, it's still challenging, it's still a little scary when I put them out there, and I'm like, I don't know that I would do it if I didn't have some kind of an audience for it. And yet there's that part of me that's like, but I don't want to need an audience to you know, make that happen. So
if there was one If there's one thing you would say to a mom,
Yeah.
and specifically because this is, okay, that's better. And specifically because this is your personal experience.
Yeah.
A stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
Who's not working outside of the home.
Yeah.
With a dollar amount attached to it.
Right.
Working, that is. What would you want her to know, or any, quite frankly, caregiver, parent, person?
Yeah.
What would you like them to know?
It's actually cool to hear you phrase it like that, because my first instinct was like, I saw like my younger self. Like I saw me at like, you know, I'm 40 now, but I saw me at like 29, 30 when I was about to have a baby and stepping into, I am choosing to stay at home with my child. And starting that journey and everything that has ensued along the way, it's like I hear myself talking to her. I hear myself talking to that woman, more so than I hear myself like speaking to the women out there, because she really stepped into motherhood with a lot of expectations on herself to be good at this, to be selfless about this, to be the type of parent that maybe she was expecting herself to be, and then like day after day after day just continued to learn the difficult realities of what it is like to raise a human being, while honestly raising yourself, because we are kind of constantly going back and reparenting and raising ourselves. So like if I were to speak to me back then, which feels a little bit safer than to say, oh, I'm just gonna like, I have no advice, right? Like I don't have advice, because it's so personal and it's so specific to each person on how they parent and how they take care of themselves. But I would have really loved for her to remember that she was a sovereign and autonomous human being amidst her role as a parent to a child, as a partner to a husband, as a wife. I think I got lost in that. It can be so easy to get lost in the role. I became the role. And I think if I'm really looking to like speak out loud, what is the thing I would say, like, hey, like your role is so important. Like you are important. This role does have value. Like you are a mother, you are caretaking, you are in taking on a mental load that is like beyond, I couldn't even begin to go through the list of every little teeny tiny thing that you are constantly trying to tend to throughout every single day. Like, and especially in those early days with having a baby, it's 24/7. You're putting yourself down to take care of those things. But I would remind her to remember that she's here too. Like she is as important as the child. She is as important as the spouse. She is as important as everybody else around her. She is important. And in fact, in her own personal life, like she kind of has to be most important. And I don't mean that in a selfish way. I don't mean like you just put yourself first and everybody last, but like if you become unimportant in your own life, like I don't know what it is you actually have to give other people. And I think it could be really easy. It was easy for me to wake up one day and realize how little I had offered myself, how much I had put down, how much I had put aside. And I was really lucky to have found people amongst my communities and just support systems that were reminding me like, hey, you're here too. Like you have passions, you have excitement, you have, goals in life, you have places you want to be and things you want to do, and you get to embody all of that.
Right.
And in fact, your child and your children, ultimately, I had 2 children, your children will benefit from seeing you be a person. Like, that's good for them. Like, right. I want them to see that. I want them to know that I am a human, that I am flawed, that I have passions in life that don't include them.
Right. Yeah, that's beautiful. Like, you matter.
You matter.
The things you want and want to pursue matter.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it's so inspiring that you're ultra marathoning and writing and doing the practitioner training. I mean, you're doing all of those things in some sort of, I'm sure, ever shifting balance amongst each other and your home. And also this idea that I thought was so striking was there's no bonus at the end of the year.
Yeah.
There's no good job email from so-and-so.
Yeah, HR is not knocking on your door for like a promotion. Like that is like not a thing. In fact, your colleagues are often yelling at you and telling you that dinner sucks, and you're like, man, this is brutal.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. But there isn't like, and we live in a capitalist world. Like we live in a society that honors and like celebrates people getting a promotion, people getting a raise, people stepping into a new, more important title. You get, even though we don't get physical paychecks anymore, it's like you see your name attached to a bank statement and like there's your money. And, when you choose to take on a role that doesn't involve any monetary compensation, like there is a difference in like how you value yourself based on how the world values you. And
right. Do you find it's hard to like quote unquote justify to yourself taking a day off?
Yeah, very much so, because it's strange. I mean, maybe not so much anymore. It probably was a while back. But I think it struck me once the first time, like I got a stomach bug while my husband was out of town, or maybe I had the flu. I had some kind of something that made it like I could barely take care of myself. And I had a toddler and a baby. And my husband is in California.
Right.
And I can't take a sick day. And I'm just like, wow, this is wild. It just really, really wild. Or having to have that conversation with your partner who is going to work and making the income and saying like, you have to cancel all your meetings today because like I'm unwell and I need a day off. And like how infrequently it actually feels like socially acceptable.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's something I'm not saying never considered, but I loved the way you put it that way.
Yeah.
That was a way of articulating it that I could go, oh, that I can totally understand. Because similarly, when I was in a full-time job, it was notable when I didn't get the, hey, you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Emails.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's just like, again, like we were talking about with the writing, you put it out there and you're like, I don't know. Will somebody read it? Well, who knows? It's out there now and I may never hear from them.
Yeah.
So what would you feel or what would have felt to that younger woman self early on would have been the most supportive? The thing that either would have been the most supportive that you recognize now you didn't get, and what were some of the things you have received from people that felt super supportive in this?
Yeah, I think it's just that reminder that like you are absolutely enough, like no matter what transpired that day, that like you are absolutely incredibly enough. And you matter so much just because you are who you are. It's like, it doesn't matter what you fed your kids for lunch, and it doesn't matter that they watched an extra 2 hours of screens because you were losing your mind and you needed a break. It doesn't matter that you yelled at them. It doesn't matter that they cried most of the day. Like, you're enough. You're amazing. You have purpose in life. You are good. Like, you are good. Your worth is not tied to how well you parented that day. And I think a lot of the women in my life who are also parents, we have come to this place where we have learned to support each other in those ways. It's like, yeah, we might like go for a run together and vent how like batshit crazy it is at home most days. And then we can kind of stop though and look at each other and be like, look at you. Like, you're strong. You're taking care of yourself. You continue to grow as a person. Like, you're in deep connection with other people. Like, you're amazing. And all while having like raised these humans full time and then some.
Right.
I mean, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
The pacers.
Yes.
The parts you have to run alone, and then the parts you have a pacer friend.
Gosh, it gives me chills. Like, honestly, just
like,
that the pacers in life, like, yeah, we have to pace each other in life. And pacing is sometimes like, it's okay if you slow down right now. Or like, let's do this. We got this. Like, let's speed up. Like, I see you and you look strong right now. And I'm going to help see this through with you. You don't have to do this by yourself.
Oh my God, that's magical.
Yeah.
And I think that's the perfect place for us to end, because there's like, that's it.
It makes me teary.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't do it by yourself.
No. Well, that's why, like, I'm like, I'm not doing any of this by myself, even when I feel, I have those days.
Yeah.
And then I get the phone call, like, hey, you go, girl, or a text or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been, by the way, one of the best supporters, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because I'll get a text out of the blue, hey, girl, brr.
I love what you're doing.
And I'm like, oh, like, thank you, So, yeah, we get to pace each other.
Yeah, we do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and champion each other.
That's right.
Yeah, because there's like no... there's room for everybody.
Yes.
There's no scarcity of like joy and success and pleasure in life. Like, we all get to have that. And so like, we get to champion each other to have more.
Oh my God, I love that. Champion each other to have more.
Yeah.
Okay. Took a note on their note.
I like Hella's got a little hand notepad, by the way. I'm going to say that out loud. It's a hand notepad. There's no pen. There's no paper. But she remembers everything on her hand notepad.
I'm like etching it into the palm of my hand.
I love it
every
so
time.
much.
Like, I'm going to take a note, and then I just, yeah.
That's great.
Well, thank you, Becca. This has been delightful.
Thank you so much.
I'm so grateful.
Oh, good to be here.
So good to be here.
And thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you again for listening to The Stories That Sparkle, a space I created for women to share in their own voices the intricacies of their stories. Another big thank you to Becca for being just so incredible, such a beautiful, expansive soul who really, she really, truly has a gift for holding space, for receiving others, and for being a real champion to others. It's incredible, and I am so grateful to be a beneficiary of all of this support, cheerleading, and championing that she so freely gives to so many. And now for some business. There's a lot going on, y'all, so check out the docuseries that's rolling out alongside of all these new episodes from the Disco Ball Tour. You can do that on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram for all the happenings. You can also subscribe to my Substack. So, there's a lot. I told you. Anyway, also, if you're enjoying The Stories That Sparkle, please pass it on to 2 friends, just 2, and encourage them to download, listen, follow, subscribe, all those things. And if you have a story you want to share or a topic you'd like me to cover in an episode of the podcast, please drop me a line, hellarader@substack.com, because together we bring light into dark places.